Now, a woman who has dyslexia has recently been appointed as the literary champion for the Nottingham Literacy Trust. Annie Parry runs sessions organised by Groundwork Five Counties for children to be able to explore natural habitats and reads children's books to them, improving their language and communication skills. Joining me now is Annie Parry and the county's National Literacy Trust's manager, Charlotte Malik. Thank you so much for coming on to the show today. So how does it feel to be a literacy champion?
Feels really, really good. It was something that kind of sort of crept up because I've been delivering these sessions since April, and I actually met a local literacy champion who works at the Sheila Russell Centre in the city, and she provided lovely little book bags for the kids, and I just went, hang on a minute. The sessions that I deliver, they're called Wellies in the Woods, and they explore different storybooks, and it just made sense. So I approached the trust and said, could I become a champion, please? And they was like, yes, of course, we would love to have you. So that was, that's how it happened.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, I have to come to you now, Charlotte. I mean, why are literary champions so important?
Literacy champions at the National Literacy Trust in Nottingham are really important to us because they're volunteers who give as much time as they like or they are able to help engage children and young people in reading for pleasure and sharing stories and speaking and listening and communicating in general. As a very, very small team, we couldn't possibly do it on our own. So to have a team of champions like Annie working with us is just perfect.
So Annie, you as we mentioned earlier, you suffer from dyslexia. You got diagnosed late. Are you the first dyslexic literacy champion?
I don't know that, but
Okay.
I would like to say I don't suffer. I have.
Sorry, that's really...
No, I get you. I completely get you. You know, dyslexia, it's seen as a disability.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'm the first one.
You're the first one that I'm aware of, Annie.
Hey, fantastic.
We'll take that.
We'll have that. We'll have that. What was the next part?
So, no, I asked you whether, if you were the first and whether you felt it held you back in any way or...
I think... sometimes reading aloud can be a little bit difficult. I know people who have dyslexia, that can be a struggle. For me, I sort of saw that as, you know, a challenge to overcome because there was something that was a bit more important. Like, if I can struggle with words when I'm reading to groups of children, I can normalise that. It means that when children are, you know, learning language and talking, that they, you know, making mistakes means that you're going to learn. And so for me, it was something to kind of overcome.
Yeah.
But, you know, through doing that with Wellies and linking it through to nature, it's been lovely. I've got better at it as well.
And it's not just reading out loud, is it? That's, I mean, in fairness, from what I've heard, obviously I've met you before, but you're quite creative with the kids when you're doing these sessions with them. Tell us about some of the things you do with them.
Just a little bit. So I did a session today. In the rain, we got absolutely soaked. It was wonderful.
I bet they loved it, right?
They did. They really did.
Did they jump in puddles?
Were you there? I think you might have been there.
One of the best things ever, jumping in muddy puddles, right?
So the story that we did was Superworm.
Okay.
And so Superworm, he can be lots of different things. He can be a lasso. He can be an acrobat. And what happens is that he gets taken away by a lizard, and all of his lovely woodland friends come and rescue him. So the activities that we did was we hid loads of little tiny laminated mini beasts all around the space. And I said I'd lost Superworm's friends and that I needed some help to find them. So the little ones run off and they come back. We also do something, we call it a butterfly sticky palette. Double-sided sticky tape is absolutely amazing. And we get them to, again, explore the space.
Yeah.
And find, you know, leaves, flowers, anything that they want to create beautiful pictures.
Yeah, yeah.
We do mini beast hunts, so
Brilliant.
we get them, little bug pots. And I always like to tell them about, careful hands, because they are living creatures like me and you.
Excellent.
And, we'll do things like be in hammocks.
I want to come to one of your classes. You make it sound so much fun. Charlotte, if there was somebody watching right now who would like to get involved and become a literacy champion, how would they find out more information?
So to find out more information, they can email us at nottingham@literacytrust.org.uk, and they'll be contacted by my fantastic colleague Lynn, who is the Literacy Champions project manager for us here in Nottingham, and she will tell them more about it and give them a little bit of induction training on how to become a literacy champion in their area. We also have a video on our website which shares some stories about how people have become literacy champions and what they do, because anybody can be a literacy champion.
Oh, that's fantastic. I don't know if they'll be as good as you though, Annie. Annie, Charlotte, thank you so much for coming in today. It's been a pleasure chatting with you both.
Thank you, Steph.